This is a quick guide to getting around the student diversity materials for the Australian curriculum. We simply go to the Student Diversity tab here and click on Student Diversity Advice. You'll come across a statement here about the Australian curriculum being for all students, and then some information about how teachers might adjust the curriculum to meet the needs of all students. They've developed a nice flow chart here which goes through looking at the learning area content that's age appropriate for the student, and then looking whether or not it would be more appropriate to take the learning area content from a different year level, or perhaps even going to the general capabilities and or cross-curriculum priorities, and then aligning that curriculum to the students' individual learning goals to develop age equivalent learning area content, and then looking at how to assess the students' progress, and then in Western Australia would be reporting against the West Australian curriculum outline guidelines. And then we go across here and click on personalised learning, which more or less reiterates here the talk about the flow chart, and then looking at some approaches that look at adjusting the curriculum, approaches which are based around instruction, and others around using the environment. That's just a number of examples. It's not meant to be an exhaustive list here. So there are some illustrations of personalised learning. I'm not going to play the videos here, but just to alert you that they're there for some ideas around how to adjust the students' learning. And then we look at actually students with disability, which will cover some of the material that we've covered earlier in the PD on the Nationally Consistent Collection of Data, reiterating the disability standards requirement around on the same basis and defining what on the same basis means, looking at consultation, which, as we've already discussed, while you don't need parental permission for the NCCD, you do need to have consulted with parents and have evidence that you've consulted with the parents and or the students. And it looks at what's considered reasonable adjustments. It's just a quick revision, if you like, for people who've already done the NCCD PD. And then it looks at how you might use the general capabilities. I'm not going to read all of these out to you. Obviously, this would be something you could go back and have a look at in your own time, of the areas of general capability that are considered to be most useful for students with disability. There are also some illustrations here that you might be interested in, some illustrations of personalised learning, that you just choose the ones that are relevant to you and have a look. And that's the quick guide to the Australian curriculum, student diversity.